Everybody, Scout Crafter here again. It's my second video for today, and let me tell you, this is the most perfect weather for me. This is my favorite. 58 degrees, light rain. I love it. I mean, you could breathe easy. I can't tell you how much I enjoy this kind of weather, but we got a quick restoration to do. I'm going to show you some of the things I picked up at Jacktown, so let's get downstairs and get it started. Okay, quickly, first let's see what we got at Jacktown. I'm going to show you the things I got in the order of when I got them. The first item I bought was this box of Sash cord chain. Now here's where I show my age. If you don't know what Sash cord chain is, years ago they used to have these windows that had weights on the side built into the frame of the window that you couldn't see, and there was a sash cord or a chain that ran around a pulley, and it would help assist in lifting the window. They were fantastic. Those windows were great, and if they were properly done, if you kept them paint free, that you could operate them with one finger, like unlike today's windows that you need two hands to open and close. Anyway, this is the sash cord chain, and I use this for a lot of things, you know, and it's hard to find, and it's quite pricey today, but this is the old stuff, and it's copper plated steel, and I got the whole box of it. So that was the first item I bought. That was next up. I bought this nice looking jack stand. Isn't that nice? Got knurling over here, and look at that. It's just a beauty, isn't it? And it's not light by any means. Let's take it over and weigh it, and then let me show you how it opens up. Okay, this weighs in at 11.5 pounds. Next item I got were these two beautiful monkey wrenches here, and you know, I just did one of these. I can't get enough of these old-timey ones. I don't know why I'm liking these so much, but I got picked up these two, and they were $15 for the two combined. Next up, I got a big Jim. Now this is for my old-timey friends out there, those that are 60 years old or so. You remember these? They used to have the big can batteries on the bottom. I have a bunch of these. You know, what can you do? I couldn't pass it by. See the little light bulb? Look, if you look real close, you can see the filament in there, in that bulb there, and I always like these, and they're useless by today's standards. The one thing I could say is the flashlights have gotten better. However, the switches go now on the flashlights, but here this is an old-fashioned type flashlight, and I remember as a kid when I was going camping, we would lug these heavy things around, but I just love them. They were really made. This is a Americana at its best. That was $5 for the flashlight. Then I ran into 357 Magdad, and look at this. He's gone full pro, just like Joe's shop. Full pro, these guys, and I'm lagging behind. I'm trying to come up with something, but look at this. How great is this? Pencils. Nice pencils too, embossed with 357 Magdad on there. See that? And look at the lead in there. You can see, real nice, huh? So look at this. I'm gonna have to do some catching up. 357 Magdad stickers. That was always next great. Up, I cleaned these up already, but I bought these beautiful glass insulators, and now I collect insulators. I have for a long time, and these were, you know, these insulated the wire from the telephone poles years ago, and these go back, you know, way back. And remember I was telling you about how many we have experts that subscribe to the channel? Well, one of the experts is a good friend of mine by the name of Lee, and Lee actually wrote the book on glass insulators. Let me show you. Here's the book our good friend Lee wrote, and you can see here, Lee is an expert and one of the premier collectors of beehive. That's this type of insulator, but he knows about all types of insulators, and he's you know, look at this. Everything in here is about how to identify and get the value, and there are thousands and thousands of different makes and different shapes and sizes, but just even in the beehive, you know, when he goes through each one, tells you where it was made and how it was made, and it's just really interesting. Now, some of these insulators can go for big money. As a matter of fact, like some of these on the back here of his cover, when you see an insulator, if you come across an insulator that has an unusual color like a violet you know, it's kind of a lime green or something, you grab that, because some of these can run into the thousands and thousands of dollars. But I collect basically, you know, like everything else, I collect the poor man's version, but always was interested in insulators. It looks like something that would come out of the 1933 Frankenstein movie or something, right? I mean, and especially when you backlit them, Lee has his whole collection in all lit up, and he has all different colors, and it's just beautiful. But I've always loved these, and I don't know if anybody else out there collects insulators, but I wanted to show these because Lee is a big time collector. I thought he enjoyed. And by the way, I paid $2 for this one and $1 for this one. Okay, one thing I neglected to mention that's upstairs is I bought a small Stanley Vice. I'll show you. I'll put a picture of that here. That was in real good shape. Couldn't pass that by. That was actually the first item I bought. Okay, but here is the last item I bought, and this here. This is a hack knife, and I don't know if you've ever seen this before. Klein makes this one, and what hack knives are these knives here are used to cut through like insulation and things like that, and splicing, and it's used like a chopper. Now, just because the electricians use it a certain way, it doesn't mean that this knife doesn't have 1,000 uses. And I use it to split kindling, you know, like to break down larger pieces of wood into smaller slivers of wood. I've been using hack knives for a long time. I've never had a Klein though, and you can see it's a heavy duty knife. It's made, it's tempered in such a way that it won't break or chip, and it's basically made that you use a mallet or something and bang the back, and then you could use it. And you can see here, because of the handle having an offset, that you don't get your fingers in the way when you're banging and cutting through something. So this was a really, you know, a really good shape. I don't think it was ever used much, and came with the sheath. This was one of my most expensive. This was $20, but I'm going to go through hack knives very soon because they really do come in handy. Okay, that brings us to today's restoration, and today we're going to be talking about a pliers. Another rare pliers I don't think you've ever seen before. This is a Utica, and we've done a lot of Utica tools before. Utica tools, and it's a made to order. Okay, and the model number of this is a B. You can see the B up there, 177. And you could see the Utica tool up there, and a Utica USA. And now, obviously, this tool here is really beat up bad, you know. But however, they're kind of somewhat, you don't see them, so not that they're rare, but with Utica, when they made a made to order, they had a few pliers that weren't in their normal line of pliers. They called them made to order, and they were kind of almost like specialty pliers. And this was considered a fencing plier. But you could see here, they cut down, they took some of the weight. Normally it's much thicker, and they would take it to a secondary grind and make this kind of tool. And I just thought it was, look at all the angles on there, right? I mean, there's a lot of compound angles like this dipping over the top. And however, it's totally pitted, you see? We got a lot of deep pitting, deep, serious pitting going on. So normally this pliers is like, you would consider this kind of shot, you know, but we're going to try and see what we can do with it, you know. There is some serious, you know, there's a good chance we're going to lose some of this writing on here. So, and like I said, I don't care because I want this in my collection and I would like to use it, but it's super tight. There's no play. The jaws look good, but you know, look at that pitting. It's just disgusting. It looks like it was dredged from the sea. However, we're going to try and get this back to what it would have looked like when it was new. So let's now, because this pitting is so extensive, we're going to start off with Abe Elias's 80 grit belt from Germany. Now, because this is such an aggressive belt, you know, you're going to have to be really careful. And there are some areas over here, again, we got to keep all these lines to look the same. So you have to be very careful. This is something you have to really take your time. You can't be in a rush, and you got to be in the right mood to do this. You want to keep all these lines exactly the way they are, and you just want to get rid of all that cruddy pitting. Now you know my favorite part. Remember what these pliers look like before we started. And we are calling this project done. And and I can't tell you how happy I am with this one. You can see here, we were able to keep the Utica tools and made to order. On the back here, I told you we'd lose some, but we kept the, you see 177, but you don't see any Utica anymore, but that goes with the territory. You have to make your choice, but look at these now. I mean, look at the handles. Remember the handles, what they were like? Remember how pitted and disgusting they were? Actually, believe it or not, the inside of the handles were the hardest to get, but look at this. It is just a beautiful, and look at the jaws are all perfect. These were really nice to begin with, but they're just a pretty pair, aren't they? At first, when you look at them, they look like a needle nose, and then you turn them this way, it's like a platypus, right? Anyway, does it work? Well, of course it does. You see it cuts like butter, both sides here, and just a lovely pair of pliers. These made to orders. Again, you don't find them too often. You don't see them at garage sales or flea markets. These were kind of a specialty type, but they kind of have that kind of Art Deco bullet look. I like them. I tend to use I'm going to use these. That's why I didn't go crazy on them, but they are a mirror finish, all around, and just beautiful. I hope you like these, because I do. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. This was a quick one today with our Utica 177, B-177 made to order pliers. Thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you have a nice day. Take care now. Bye-bye.